So let me begin by warmly welcoming Professor V.K. Chakravarti, founding Dean of the School of Design Innovation at Mahindra University, currently online from Industrial Design Center IIT Bombay, where he has spent over 2 decades shaping the future of design education. A true pioneer in design and innovation, he has led several impactful academic and hands-on initiatives, including the well-known Sheno Innovation Studio. His innovations, such as the Nano Sniffer and 5G Commando Tech, demonstrate his strong focus on translating research into socially relevant solutions. With over 26 own patents, numerous industry and government collaborations, and wide-reaching online courses that have reached over 1.5 lakh learners all across India, his work continues to inspire a new generation of designers, innovators, and changemakers. Sir, it's really a great honor to have you with us today, and we are truly delighted to hear your insights on design-driven innovation.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Shruti, and thank you so much to the innovation cell in the Ministry of Education. Are you all able to hear me well?
Yes, sir.
Shruti? Yeah. Shruti,
yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes, I can share my screen first, and I have to share some audio also because I have video also coming. So I need to check whether the audio also is working. So like, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible.
Let me just check my video whether it's working. 1 second, please.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I'll put it full screen to check whether it's working. Are you able to hear the sound?
The sound, I think
music was not there. So I think like sharing, do I need to do something else for WebEx? I'm not very comfortable with this.
So can you please retry it?
1 second. What I'll have to do is maybe I'll go to settings and use in the WebEx when you do sharing. Or is there anybody expert on WebEx on the group here? They can help us on how to get the PPT's presentation because I'm sharing a window.
So can you try to increase the volume of your?
Volume is full. It's playing on my speaker here. It's supposed to be coming to all of you. Let me just check. You're sharing videos or animations. Do you want to include your computer audio while you're sharing? Yes. Share computer audio. First start PPT and then share the window. Okay. I will first start the PPT. Now I'll just see if it's working. Somebody has helped me there. 1 second. So now I'm also already on sharing. So let me see whether you can be able to hear the audio. You're able to see the audio?
Yes, sir. Now it's perfectly fine, sir. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'll start the presentation now. And that's my first slide. And there we go. So it's so good. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I've been teaching for the last 3 decades, colleagues. So I'm one of you. Basically started my career at Larsen & Toubro in design department. After my graduation at IIT Bombay in the School of Design, and I of course worked in IIT Bombay back there for 25 years now, and just moved to Mahindra University 8 months back to start the School of Design Innovation as a paradigm shift, because we all see that there's so much interesting ideas, but the ideas, there's a tremendous effort we need to put these ideas to market and take it to entrepreneurship. So you'll see all those things happening, and what I've done is I put up a presentation for you where I'm going to show you all the case studies, how the case studies were built, as well as how we need to patent and design register them. I'm going to show you some examples on that front also. So very, very fortunate to be at Mahindra University. It was sprawling campus with wonderful buildings and very nice architecture. All design environment for a school is very, very critical. And for example, in the School of Design Innovation, we have this Mahindra University has all the schools. We have Eco Central School of Engineering, School of Management, School of Law, School of Media and Communication, School of Hospitality. So getting all
बेटा
these
यहाँ
things
जितने भी
is
टीचर्स और
very,
जितने भी
very
स्टूडेंट्स हो
important for
इनका
you
एक
to work
ई
on
असेसमेंट है
So we want to in our school, we
बाद
were
में आपको वो
pushing
ये
technology
assessment fill
boundaries,
करना है, उसके basis पे you will
looking
get
at
certificate. तो ध्यान
well-being
से
of
सुनना.
people. We have to deliver solutions, and free. We want the students are taught entrepreneurship. So foundation students also go through entrepreneurship courses. We have a wonderful entrepreneurship center over here. And we are offering 3 courses, which is BDES, MDES, and PhD, all in design innovation, and all focused on taking ideas to market from day one. Since if the students, for example, your colleagues, you can see students designing glass water bottles in their first semester, and these glass water bottles have to be manufactured 5,000 units and given as gifts for Mahindra Group. So things like that. So when you start early design, you can take it forward. That's the whole idea. So I coined the term innovation by design while I was at the School of Design, IIT Bombay, and we have to design the innovation process and we use design for innovation. It's like the Mobius curve, and we take it forward. I'm very, very grateful to the Ministry of Education, where we have these 2 large projects. One is called the Design Innovation Center. So all the work you're seeing is thanks to these wonderful projects conceived by the Ministry of Education under the NIDI project. So there's a studio in IIT Bombay where we build all the projects I'm going to show you. So it takes so much effort to build completely new design and development, and which is taking the things forward. So we will show you this, and then of course this is my research area, colleagues. Most important thing in entrepreneurship and design innovation is collaboration, colleagues. In the whole world of innovation, collaboration is the key, because one single person cannot have all the strengths. So this was my PhD topic, where we looked at a core team which has few number of people who are working day and night. We look at an enterprise-wide team which actually gives you 20-30% of their time, and the networking will gives you 5% of their time or 2% of the time. But that is the seed of innovation. You can really leapfrog into multiple domains. So all our projects, what I show you, have gone through these multi-teaming levels. I'll explain to you one by one. So here we have again wonderful project thanks to Open Design School, the National Initiative for Design Innovation of Ministry of Education, where we got into Open Design School. And in this Open Design School, while we worked on projects, we documented all the projects, live projects, so that this documentation can become your learning method. So that is the technique behind. And then we came up with these 7 online courses, have more than 1.8 lakh students registered, a lot of around 1,000 faculty colleagues in the program, and of course I'll come now to our topic of the day, which is the how do we capture the ideas and how do we convert them into our intellectual property. So that is the aspect which is very, very important for us. Which is what we go to work on and do. So I've started my airplane mode, sorry about that. So here we are looking at those important critical domains, and let me quickly take you forward from here. So all my now nearly 4 decades of teaching experience have culminated in this very interesting Indian ethos of concerns for innovation. You have to be concerned for your user, you have to be concerned for your manufacturer, you have to be concerned for your seller, you have to be concerned, and those concerns result in innovation. And I'll take you through the, my friends call me Chakku. So these are the Chakku's 7 concerns for design innovation. And each concern, I'll show you one product, and I'll show you the design registration for that and the story behind it. So that is the way I'm taking my whole presentation forward. And all these concerns and case studies are available in detail on my YouTube channel. They're available on my Coursera course. They're available on the Swine courses. So please don't worry, no need to take notes. They're all available everywhere on the net. So here we now go to our next slide. So the first one is you stand for a cause, which is the first concern. That is you say that you take a resolve that you want to solve a problem. So that problem was that the students had to go and identify the problem in the field. In blood banks, they found out that's very, very difficult to prick and get the bean for some patients. So here we came up with this very simple device, which is the bean tracer. This device took us nearly 1.5 years to build. You see the form factor over here. This form is the 4th iteration of form, and that's the pilot production. It's very, very convenient to use. The form is shaped in such a way that's easy to hold and easy to use a syringe to draw the blood. So all those factors now are very critical. And now we need to take this to market, right? If you take this to market, I need to have a design registration. Because patent is not possible, because it's just a simple technology, infrared technology, which highlights oxygenated blood. So from that point of view, I can't get a patent. So you could, but whole aspect over here is about the design registration, and we of course have this wonderful design registration where it is called just the vein detector. It's not even called user friendly, because as soon as I call it user friendly vein detector, it goes into patents. It is just called a simple vein detector, and this vein detector, what is the patent, which is the design registry which is done, is just the shape, colleagues, and it's just very, very easy to do. I must tell you a small story over here. As part of the Indian knowledge systems, we were of the opinion that, we keep on producing new products and we keep on putting in the market, but we're not going to be, bothered about, patents. So when we started our project, we just kept on delivering, ideas and products and systems, and then very interestingly, Ministry of Education came back and said we want to do ranking, and the ranking of the design innovation centers will happen as per the number of patents and design registrations. And then we were ranked, out of the 20 design innovation centers set up in the country, I was ranked around 3rd from the bottom, because I had at that time only a couple of design registrations. So that's where when we seriously worked on this, it's very important to have a design registration. You can have a philosophy that you keep on building new products, but that is not enough. You need to be also recognized, you need to also safeguard the people who take your designs to market. So from that point of view, these design registrations are very important, and they're very, very simple to make. I'll show you in detail in the next slide how we make these very simple design registrations. So these things actually are critical for us, and we are just seeing how we are going to take this forward. So now that was the first design registration we did. So let me take you to the next one, which is our the context. A lot of people build very interesting ideas, but they're not contextually placed to the right environment where it's going to be used. So this becomes very critical. For this context, I took a very interesting, example of designing a water bottle for CRPF jawans. Again, the problem came from the field, where jawans actually have a lot of problem of drinking water when they're in the forest, and the drinking water bodies are poisoned sometimes, and they need a very, very good source, and they also did stay in the forest. So here we built this wonderful project. Let me play the video for you. So, for example, this particular bottle was designed as participatory design using collaborative, innovation model, which I built around 8 teams of CRPF Jawans, so partners in this. And the type of insights we got from them was phenomenal, and the context of where it's going to be used is the paramount. For example, this doesn't need to have a transparent, strip to see how much water is there, because water is precious for the CRPF Jawans. So they will drink water as ration.
So there's no need for how much water for them to check how much water. Because by the weight itself they would know because it's dear to them. So these are those interesting insights which made the bottle very robust, which made the bottle very user friendly, and of course the filter is integrated in the bottle itself. And we again got a design registration for that, and we could have got a patent also for this depending upon how we place the filter, but that was not too much of novelty because filter is just placed in the bottom. So these are these interesting things which happen. So here also we got the shape registered because that type of bottle had this special bean shape, and it was very easy to hold while you crank. So the form was having its meaning, the form was having its ease of use, the form was having the filter integrated in the bottom cap. So all those form factors became critical for us in the registration. So now let me come back to my third concern, which is the comprehension. Generally when you actually do a lot of survey and when you talk to users, customers and people, you get a lot of insights. You need to convert those insights into features in your ideas or build itself upon the insight. So that becomes a very, very critical thing in the design phase. And here, for example, we have we have this problem of why don't people use solar over? There's so much heat. Currently, I'm in Hyderabad. I'm enjoying the Hyderabad heat because my cooking happens much faster. See how the heat is no longer troubling me because it's cooking my food much faster. So these are type of things which happen. So when we went to Bombay to survey, they all said that it's so inconvenient to go outdoors and cook. So we built this wonderful solar oven, again a student project to pilot production, and now getting into a startup where you actually mount the oven in the window, the sun side of the window of the house, and use it from inside the house as a microwave. So you have the convenience of a microwave, and you have the mounting as the air conditioner, window air conditioner. And we use very, very high technology here, from chemical engineering to thermodynamics to material science coatings to material dimensions. So it's very interesting that this greenhouse solar oven is very, very convenient to use, and it's also very viable. So I'm going to show you in detail how the patent worked over here. Let me quickly show you a small film to see how we took it to market. The Design Innovation Center at IIT Bombay supports the best design minds in the country to conceptualize, prototype, test, and ultimately produce innovative products which will enrich our lives. Our student Avinash found out that the conventional box-type solar cooker is very inconvenient to use. He came up with this new design of window-mounted oven where one can operate the oven from indoors. We receive ample sunlight in our country, and the solar oven takes us a step closer towards a sustainable lifestyle. This versatile solar cooker with zero maintenance can easily recover its cost in a
required that product that I have bought that product. So what is that exactly? The nice shape of the bottle, nice shape of a soap, nice jewelry design, nice packaging. All these things are attracting us. And then they have that industrial design will look into gender, look into the age, look into that ergonomics factors, and all these particular factors sir has just shared with us how exactly they have looked into all and created that product. So functionality is aspect of a product design, that product design, and engineers are taking care of that, and in the point of view of intellectual property, patent will take care of that. And the design aspect is a job of designers, and they will look into how exactly that product will look when it will go into the market. Okay, now I'll just put few names and then you just think about what exactly comes in front of you. If I say Maruti, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Hyundai, Toyota, maybe that car is going in front of you and you have that specific impression considering design about that particular car. That's that particular color, that particular feel, and That is one of the important, I can say, specification when we are deciding to buy that particular car. Anyway, car is doing the task, the function is like mobility, travel, but why we choose a particular car and why all cars are not same? Because every person have a different taste, and based on that different liking, the person is going to like buy that particular product from the market. You go into the shop, you have to buy the fan, and fan the function is okay, it is giving you that cooling effect, and every fan will do that. But you have a specific like expectation, and you buy a specific particular fan from a specific company. Why this happen? Because many times that experience, that aesthetic look is like you think about how exactly it will look into your living room, how exactly you will, that color combinations, all these aspects you are taking into consideration. Now, statutory, if you see, there is a very good arrangement that these are the different acts you can just check out. That in that you can just check. Considering India, Designs Act 2000 is dedicated for this particular protection of designs, and the design protection is for 10 years and renewable for next 5 years. So once we buy or once you have that registered design, total life of the design is 50. We have to understand that most of the intellectual properties, I am saying most of the intellectual properties out of this 8, because some like few exceptions are there which are perpetual in nature, obviously you have to do the renewal. So design, when we are talking about total life of design, once we register in India, it is a 15 years. At first, whenever you are registering it, it is for 10 years. Obviously, you have to go for renewal procedure. If you miss that, your design will come into the public domain. So renewal is mandatory if you want next 5 years registration, where that life actually, right? Now, this trademark or patent, they have a different life, but I can just give you an idea. Patent will give, when patent is like granted, when you are giving doing the application, life is 20 years. And trademark is one example, which is a perpetual in nature. So you can just say Philips, Siemens, more than 100 years, this particular we can say trademark is there. Why? They are doing that renewal every 10th year. That renewal is mandatory. If you miss that renewal, your trademark will go into the public domain. Now, next is like I am showing you one map, and here it shows Mithai, which is a particular to different states of India. We will come back to this in the last, and I want to know that from you whether design registration is possible with this particular aspect, that is a Mithai. Now, when we are talking about a design, can it become an asset? I am just sharing with you example. It is little old data, but that time also, you can just check out that 95% or 92% or 88% of intangible, that if you see the market capitalization, intangible assets are taken. Means if you take an organization, intangible assets and tangible assets are two assets. Previously, before 1980, tangible assets were very important, that infrastructure and then the facilities which are there, the manufacturing unit, all this like tangible property was having important. But after 1980, shift is there, and intangible assets like this patent, trademark, copyright, industrial design, trade secret, protection of plant varieties, farmers' right, geographical indication, semiconductor integrated circuit layout design, all this along with goodwill, obviously, all these are taking a chunk, and this is like a 95% of company asset or organization assets are intangible assets. So we have to appreciate that shift, and we definitely have to focus and work on intangible assets so that we can create wealth out of them. Now, when we talk about industrial design, obviously different kind of packages. Packaging is important. I have just given you example of a mall. Wherever you are going, we just get attracted towards that nice packaging, nice color combination, and we buy products. Then this is one example I have shared about that bicycle, and that specific especially able people can use this, and so nicely it is particularly designed. So it serves the purpose, but obviously it is giving you the pleasure of having that particular bicycle. You are owning it, and obviously your task or your function for which you are buying that is done. And industrial design will give you that particular, we can say, the aesthetic aspect, and you are like happy to own that particular. Here are the different kind of, if you see the fashion industry, obviously it is dominated by industrial design. And even obviously all the market, wherever the market, the products are there, design is playing a very, I can say, indispensable role, because that is one thing helps you, or that is one thing considering the seller, that helps seller to attract the customer, and obviously consumers or customers are attracted because they have a specific taste for them. Now this, why design protection? Obviously it is an exclusive right. Now if you do not do the protection for industrial design, the chances are that competitors will take that product into market. I would like to share a case here. I can take name of the company actually, Crompton Thieves. Crompton Thieves, if you see, Crompton Thieves is a company which is in India. Every time, like CGPDTM office, our patent office, patent industrial design trademark registry, this office gives awards to the successful design creators, and Crompton Thieves is a continuous, for many years, Crompton Thieves was a leader, and they used to get that prize for their industrial design. Their main industrial design team is in Mumbai, and they are working on their products. So their motor pumps, their fans, all that electric appliances, design team there is working, and they are like giving the products into that as required, as per requirement the consumer. Now the example I want to share is like that they have designed one fan, and for that fan they forgot or they have neglected the importance of industrial design, and they have not done the design registration for that particular fan. What happened? Whenever they have launched that product into the market, immediately, obviously, as there was no protection, their competitors, they have copied that particular design. And obviously, what is the effect of that? The fourth point, your decision making before bringing that product into the market, IP management plays a very, very important. Sir has already that shared with us that the two important IPs they have, as IIT Bombay, they have taken into consideration as a patent and design. But I would like to mention that along with that, for example, water he had shared, or for example, sunrise, he has coined that term. So probably trademark registration would also help to have a holistic, we can say, that IP management. So trademark, patent, industrial design, and then obviously trade secret is always there. And then copyright comes, but that we will not go into the details of that now. That is also playing the important role of the IP management, and any product whenever we take, all this IP come into the picture. What happens if you don't do the design registration? Obviously you don't have any legal means, just from the Thieves case you can take. They don't have option, but everybody copied it out. They have to, you don't have option as competitors are more, so you cannot have that upper hand to, and you have to sell your product out in a lower price actually, right? So it is harmful to both actually, firm's reputation also and the product also. Your return on investment will be obviously with these IPs, and we are talking about the design. When we do that, obviously it is a very good tool, very good IP when we are talking about the marketing, but the consumer. So return of investment can be increased along with functional aspect, aesthetic aspect, you are merging, and that will give a advantage. So 10 years at least, if you will not renew it, but if you renew it, next 5 years, so total 15 years is the life of that design. Okay? And obviously it is a strong help in the brand building, because you just check out that when you talk about brand is a function of market actually. I will keep legal aspect and marketing aspect separately. Marketing is like brand is coming under marketing management, and a legal aspect is like industrial design. So when we are talking about that brand building, we can say that design as a legal, we can say the aspect. When you do that, when if somebody copies that, you have a statutory provision and you can take action on it. You can license it, you can sell it now. Sir has shared that, okay, we have taken a patent in 4 countries. Probably there is a possibility that they can go for a design registration or design patent, because in India we say industrial design, but in US there is a design patent concept is there. So if you take that particular protection in different countries, you can license, you can hand over that franchisee, you can give that franchisee for your product, and they can take care of that. How you can do that effectively? Because you have IP in hand and you have protected. Without that, probably you cannot do this particular activity of selling or licensing. And therefore, it is very important to have a legal right over that particular product, and therefore registering IP, maximum IP means you can have patent, we can have industrial design, we can have a trademark, and then we can have a bundle of rights, and that bundle of rights you can have that negotiation while you are like selling or licensing that particular thing. You will have a positive image when you have that portfolio, because with that one product you have a portfolio and then the registered designs. And in 2023-24 we can see that 30,000 designs are registered and that filed, and 30,000 plus like 30,670 designs are registered. Considering the origin, if you see, India and foreign, because that due to the TRIPS agreement, obviously, and we are a Paris Convention member, Paris Convention member here. So obviously, the other country residents can register design in India, and they will have a national treatment as if they are nationals of India. And you can see that if I focus on 2023-24 data, India registration, that Indian residents have registered 26,000 patents, 26,000 plus industrial designs, and foreign like 3,000 plus registrations are there. If we see the registrations like that state-wise, we can say Maharashtra is in a top position, and then Tamil Nadu, Delhi, Gujarat, and very surprisingly you can see that obviously Jammu and Kashmir is also there in design registration in that top 20 in 2023-24. Moving further, if you see this India map, you can just check again that the number that each state-wise and union territory-wise registration, and we can say that yes, awareness is there, and state-wise we can say there is a registration, industrial design registration is there. If we see country-wise, you can just see that USA is a topmost considering registration in India, because they want to use obviously market in India. So USA is in the top, then Germany, China, Japan, Korea, you can just see the list. They are like companies which are there, or individuals they are there, they are registering their designs in India, and USA is in top. If I see the top, we can say the applicants considering 2023-24 data. Sabyasachi Kolkata alone 1 year filed 1,067 industrial design registration, and then the list is there, you can just check that. Then if you see foreign filers, then you can just check that Samsung, Philips, Skechers, right? They are now, you can just see, Porsche is there, and then they are registering their designs in India. When we see the filed exam registered or disposed number, as we have just seen, 30,000 plus industrial designs are registered and 29,000 plus like examined and 30,000 plus is registered designs. Disposal is there because sometimes it is abandoned, sometimes it is not, like FER is issued but applicants have not responded to that, and at that case that applications were disposed. Now if you see, there is a Locarno classification. If you see any of the RP, some classification we are following always. For example, for trademark we are following this or nice, whatever pronunciation you want to do, that classification we follow. If we see this patent, we have international patent classification. So similarly, when we see industrial design, we follow Locarno classification. Now why this slide is important, that we can just check that class 2, class 12, class 24, class 15 and class 11 are the top classes where Indian applicants are filing the registration. So it gives us idea that okay, which class is like focused by most of the creators, and how definitely if these are the classes, we can say that yes, market is ready for such kind of products, and we can think about the development of products, having such kind of products into the market with the industrial design registration. And you can just see for this class 2 is for clothing, or class 12 is for transportation, class 24 is medical and lab equipment, so we can have that details here. Now if you see for the foreign applicants, we have seen 3,000 plus applications are there by foreign filers, so or foreign residents. So where they are focusing on? They are focusing on class 24, medical lab equipments, right? Then there is a class 12, transportation. Class 14 is there for recording, communication or information, travel equipments is there. Class, there is a 23 which is related to the sanitary, that equipments, distribution equipment, sanitary, heating, ventilation, or you can just check that class 9 which is related to containers for the transport or handling the goods is there. When we see the revenue generation from this intellectual property alone, we can see Calcutta, because head office of industrial design for industrial design is Calcutta. So there are 4 offices where you can file your industrial design registration, like Mumbai, then Delhi, Chennai and Kolkata. The examination happens in Kolkata office, and we can see that it is almost like 9 crore plus, right? The revenue is generated only from industrial designs. This is the site where if you want to go through the records which are there, which are like registered designs, you can just go through the website of IP India and you can just look into the various designs which are registered on this. The key features, what are the key features of design? We can say that it is a relatively inexpensive form of IP, definitely. It is a very easy form. Just now sir had shared that okay, 6 views, we have to just take photographs or that particular, on a trace paper you can have that particular design, and then along with that some documentation is there, some details we have to give, so it is so easy. No drafting, nothing is like that. Like in patent we have a lot of efforts we have to take for drafting. And anybody without help of, I just insist that, without help of an attorney, without help of any expert, IP expert, can do it easily. If you go through the website, very nicely, CGPDDM office website if we go, nicely they have given a checklist and everything is online. Only if you have digital signature, you can do sitting registration of industrial design very easily if you have a system and a digital that signature. That's it, it's very simple actually. So novelty aspect is very important, that what exactly that novel thing is there. For example, I can just check that the example of cooker, solar cooker had shared, that he has shared that how exactly the novelty is there, along with the patent, industrial design, and how exactly that design, what efforts they have put to bring that particular product into market. That novelty aspect, considering design, will be important when we are doing the industrial design registration. Okay, but we have to remember, I have highlighted that it is a very weak form of IP. Now why? Because a small tweak in that shape, that easily somebody can do, and they can have a next version and they can file that industrial design registration for that. And therefore, it is it is very wise, like along the design, patent, trademark, trade secret, okay? All these other IPs we have to take into consideration. So novelty is crucial, it is a statutory right, so you can go into district court, you can go into that court system, and you can have that remedy considering that if any infringement happens. Okay, so there is no requirement of inventive step because inventive step is a function of a patent. Okay, so only aesthetic aspect is a very important when we are talking about the design. If we go into the details, statutory details, this is the definition of design, probably you might be knowing, but I will just focus on features of shape, configuration, pattern, ornament or composition of lines or pillars. That is very important. That is the external appearance. And another word which is highlighted is the article. Now this is very, very important. I will share one judgment actually quickly related to Apple and Samsung. So what that article is important, because when industrial design, when we are talking, it should be independable, sellable article. So for example, if I take a car, in that car, that one, like a screw also is an article, that we have to remember. That is very important actually, okay? And two-dimensional, three-dimensional, both forms are like you can go for a registration of that. And every time I'm emphasizing appeal to and are judged solely by art. That is very, very important. Other things you can go through, okay? So what is to be established when we are talking about examination, when we are talking about any infringement case? Novel feature is very important, visible to eye is very important, and article, independent article is very, very important. Considering the time limit, I will just skip quickly, and considering the good form of protection, we can say that customer base is very important. You have to think about customer always when we are designing that particular product. Okay. Now, when we are talking about design, it should not include. What it should not include? It should not include mode or principle of construction, because that is a function of patent, which is a mere mechanical design. That is not kind of acceptable. Purely functional features, again, it is a work of patent. And the trademark, like sunrise, the name which is given, it is a trademark, so that will not come into the design protection. Okay, what we have to remember, that if you want to renew that 10th year, you have to remember that I have to renew it, otherwise it will go into the public domain. Okay, now just see this Apple and Samsung, and the judgment, you can just read that. What point I want to emphasize here is like that. This fight between Apple and Samsung was very well known. They were fighting for that. There were almost 50 plus cases. They were fighting for $1 billion actually, considering design and obviously other aspects of IPs were there. We have to remember that this fight, if you go into the US, there is a design patent and there is no industrial design registration. So that fight is over the design patent infringement actually. Okay, and here important part is that article of manufacture, and it is very good clarified that okay, you are buying mobile, but the components which are present in the mobile that are important, like independently sellable, maybe consumer is not buying that separately, but that is buying with that whole as a mobile. But we have to take into consideration each and every aspect of that article and the feature when we are talking about the industrial design registration. Okay, because the fight was related to that internals, that components. that internal components are independently sellable. So that is a matter which is like as per definition. Article is coming into the picture, and obviously they can, that court have given the ruling that yes, the article, if you see, I just give you hint. Everybody know this, right? Barbie doll. And here is the story. You can just see Barbie born, we can say, in 1959, and you can see the evolution till 2015 here. Now if you see, Barbie is almost 65 years old. Okay, but she is not aging, right? So when we are talking about Barbie, it is a very classic example of a IP management. Now you just see here, the picture which I have shown, it is of Ruth Handler and Elliot. That is it is a discovery, or it is, we can say, the invention when they were he was like with her daughter and with playing with the dolls. At that time, Ruth has created that particular doll, and you can just see the modifications. And Metal Toys, it is a very big company. Every time I am going to do the search report for industrial design, Metal Toys always come. Actually, they have a lot of products which are like protected using industrial design as a IP. And this Metal Toys, you can see how strategically they have marketed this particular Barbie. You can see that they have extended Barbie's, that doll, with the family and friends. So you can just see Barbie have a sisters, that Barbie have a friends, Barbie have a boyfriend, and Barbie have her own house. And you can just see here in California, human scale dream houses created for Barbie, and how they are doing the marketing of that one industrial design protection. Then they have another different types of IPs, effective brand building, effective marketing, and a successful, we can say, case of IP management. Here is a car of Barbie, you can just check. And yes, what they have announced that in 2023, that Barbie owner Mattel plans 45 more toy movies as IP and nostalgia trend continues. So see how effectively they are using. This is a very classic case of marketing or building the brand and IP effectively. Okay, so you can just see that Barbie gets at least 100 new clothings every year. And therefore, because of this, Mattel become the biggest garment manufacturer in the world. I have just told you that Barbie is having a lot many other relationships, and she represents nearly 100 different nationalities. There are first, we can say, ponytail Barbie was sold in for $3, and you can just see Barbie cost now maybe up to $30,000. What an effective brand building actually. And the path was not easy. Barbie has gone through a lot of legal cases related to industrial that design also, and other types of IPs also. They have faced big backlash in Saudi Arabia and that kind of countries because of that look which they have presented, or they have brought the Barbie into the market with a different outlook. And that is a very interesting case actually. So path was not easy, but we can see here the effective brand building and the effective use of industrial design. I will just keep these examples, and I would like to come to the that last, that is a strategic part, considering the IP management when we are talking about industrial design. I will skip this case law also, but what we have to focus on when we are talking about this industrial design with we have to think about other IPs and IP strategy. This is very important when we are talking about design commercialization. Generating idea, a lot of ideas are created. Even the inaugural session yesterday, it is shared by Dr. Jerry that see that there is a whole lot of idea bank is created through various hackathons actually. So we are rich now with the ideas, right? Now how we are going to reduce these ideas into the tangible form, right? That is very important. So probably we have to now think about how we are going further from that idea to the market. That is very, very important actually. Effective IP strategy, Barbie case is a very, very important, how effectively they have used IP strategy. Technology transfer is again very, very important. Sir has just now shared that yes, if MSME is there, 50,000 is good enough because probably their capacity is that much only. But I say that MSMEs are very promising. They are doing that particular task for many years, and probably if you have a non-exclusive licensing, probably that is a very good way to expand the market. Because when we gave it to 1,000 MSMEs, probably that will be you can just imagine if you give 1,000 MSMEs with a 50,000, good revenue generation is there. And that is a very good strategy actually, because observation is like this. If we go into the big player, probably we may not stand in the negotiation. That is my experience actually, with the patent also, with the industrial design also. We are like a very small fish, we can say, and big players are a big fish, and in this market, probably we may not stand, we may not negotiate effectively, but probably MSMEs is a very good example where we can negotiate and we can have a non-exclusive licensing. Probably that is a very good way of licensing or selling of the product. Design commercialization, when we are talking, product development and business growth. Product development, other types of IPs will come. Business growth, marketing aspect we have to take into consideration. And key stakeholders, as we have just seen, that designers, marketers, manufacturers, creators, okay, all these engineers obviously will be there. So if we see the stages of that commercialization, obviously idea generation is there, designing and prototyping, and it goes into the various stages. Market research and validation is there. Then manufacturing and sourcing is there, sales is there, and post-launch evaluation is there. Lastly, a few questions we should ponder on. Whether single IP design will be sufficient? Only one type of IP is sufficient? I will say no, definitely not. You just think about it. Whether other important factors along with IP are important? Yes, definitely we have to think about other factors. We cannot just say, oh, I have my design registration, I have received that design registration, and now there will be a queue for asking that my IP, and there will be queue, people will come. That will never happen. We have to take efforts.